Hey everybody, I'm Matt Rivera and welcome back to Southwest Off Grid. Now today we're trying something a little different. As most of you already know, living out in the desert, you don't have the best soil for gardening. So one thing that I like to do, or I'm trying to do, is do like raised planter beds and even gardening inside. You know, figuring out how to grow my herbs and some of my vegetables indoors. Now I was looking through YouTube, of course, because I love it, right? I found this really cool idea where somebody created a flower bed using a 5-gallon water cooler container, right? But I want to try something different. I want to try doing like an herb garden or possibly vegetables. I'll see what's at Lowe's or Home Depot when we get there, right? But basically the general idea is I'm going to cut the upper half of this 5-gallon jug off. I'm going to flip it upside down, and that's going to be where I put my soil and my vegetables. On the bottom half, I'm going to put a fish. Now, I have some bettas at home. I have some fighting fish at home, but I'm not sure if, because some of you guys call them Siamese fighting fish, some call them beta, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough waste in this container to feed the plants properly. So we're going to try it out. But the way it works is when you flip it upside down, you use a piece of cloth, like a white old t-shirt, you cut it up and you feed it through a tiny hole in the cap that runs down into the tank, and then the rest runs up to the plant. So it wicks water from the bottom and then gravity feeds it up to the top, always keeping the plants properly nourished. So that's kind of like my general idea of what I'm going to do here. I've never done anything like this before, but I mean, it can't be that hard, right? And it's just cutting plastic, and also I hope it works. So yeah, this is it. Right? You like my artwork? I'll just stick to the videos, Matt. The videos and slamming people around. So we're going to drop that down. So for this project, all I have, really, because I took a lot of my tools and I took them to my mother-in-law's house to work on another project. But everything I really have here that I'm going to be using is a jigsaw to cut the circumference of this, and a drill with a 1/2-inch spade. We're going to get closer to show you guys. A 1/2-inch spade bit right there. Now this is important because I need to drill holes around the bottom to make sure that the fish gets oxygen, and that I can use a flower pot to refill the water when it gets low, and I can also drop food in there for the fish. You know, they need to eat, right? But this is going to work for the most part to definitely help out. So I was kind of debating on how I wanted to start this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drilling the holes first, because once you cut this off, this is going to be real flimsy. It's going to start bending when I apply pressure to drill the hole. So I'm actually going to start drilling the holes first. I'm going to start here around the top part, because I want to give them enough space here at the bottom to have swimming space, you know. And then I'll go ahead and I'll cut the top off. I'll drill a little hole in the cap to make sure that I can feed the fabric through. And then, yeah, this is an experiment. I've never done anything like this before, so we just have to see what happens. All right, let's go and let's get started. Now, since I am off-grid out here in the desert, I don't have a power source. So right now I'm using my Blue Yeti AC200 Max. It's a solar power generator, and it's a great thing. This isn't a sponsored ad, but I'm telling you right now, if you plan on living off-grid, try to get your hands on a solar generator. There's lots out there, lots of different brands. I think Anchor and what's it called, Jackery, but I found that the Blue Yeti had amazing reviews, and I've used it during the entire build of this cabin. Like every piece of wood I cut was from a skill saw attached to my Blue Yeti. Every hole I drilled was a drill attached to my Blue Yeti. Everything has worked with this Blue Yeti, and it works phenomenal. So that's just my, my little thing right there. If you're in the market and you're looking, I suggest getting one of these. All right, but we'll get into that into another video on the many reasons why I picked a solar generator versus getting like a conventional house solar system at another video. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this project. So first, let's do these holes. I was planning on going along this edge, but I want to have more space to fill it up with water. So I might go more towards the middle of this line and create my holes there. So the journey of 1,000 miles begins with its first steps. That's such a cheesy line. All right, go ahead. All right, no going back now, right? The reason why I chose a 1/2 inch is because there is cats in the area, and I do plan on putting this either inside or on my front porch. And I don't want a cat paw to reach in there and grab any of my fishes or fish. So I did pick a 1/2 inch size. It's plenty. Let me get a little closer so you guys can see. There should be plenty enough to get food and water inside. You see that? So let me go ahead and drill a few more. I'm probably going to do 3 on each side. I think 6 is more than enough. And if mosquitoes get in there, just feeds the fish, right? So right here. Right here. It got stuck. Now, to be honest, this is very old equipment. It belonged to my father-in-law. May he rest in peace. And a lot, so it did get stuck, but that's why you have to be careful. All right, know what you're doing, unlike me. Let's go, baby. This is looking good. I think the last one. All right. Bam. That looks great. So now these will be little feeding holes and / adding water to the fish tank. All right, I'm going to empty this out. Now, I'm going to take the drill and I'm going to add a little hole in the spot where I want to start the jigsaw, because of course I need a starting point for a jigsaw. So I'm going to place it right here, right at the line, because you got to make sure that the fattest part is where you cut. You don't want to cut into the fat part, because then when you flip it and it rests, it might fall in, and you don't want that. So I cut right here where it gets narrow, and that means it's going to sit right here nice and good when it's flipped upside down. Now I don't need a big hole. I just need enough to get the drill bit in. All right, that should be good. My Leatherman can do the rest. Trusty Leatherman. All right, so I went ahead and I cut the hole. So now I have my jigsaw connected to my Blue Eddy, and I'm gonna run this bad boy all around the perimeter of this whole thing. It's gonna get loud, so of course I'm gonna mute it, play some music or something like that, whatever you guys like. Almost there. Almost there. It's not perfect. But that'll do, donkey. That'll do. All right. I'm going to dump this outside because I just swept. Now, moment of truth. Bam. Should fit just like that. It says not perfect. Oh, there he is. Bam. That works great. This is so cool. And then, this container I got from Walmart, and it's a lot clearer than I expected. So I'll definitely be able to see the fish swim around and just live their little fishy lives. Now, I was debating on whether I should put gravel on the bottom of this little container for the fish, but I'm not too sure because my plan is that I'll feed the fish and they'll eat, they'll do what they need to do, create waste, and then I'll feed the plant, and then every now and then I want to be able to take this off and siphon anything that gathers on the bottom to put that into like a fish fertilizer container so I can use it for other gardening. So not too sure, kind of half and half. It would look prettier with like some kind of cool like river rock at the bottom or something like that, but I don't know if that'll suit my needs. But we shall see. Who knows? Tomorrow is another day. Bam. All right. That looks great. There you go. There we go. Not like a super big hole, but it should definitely be enough to feed in a piece of fabric like a cloth or an old shirt. Just feed it straight through. Bam. Now let's go find a piece of fabric. All right, so the good news is that I found an old pillowcase that we're using to kind of wipe off the dog's feet before they came inside. And I'll just give it a quick rinse and cut it up, and then we should be good to go. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Whoosh. All right, so I went ahead and I cut the fabric, and I made it about 2 inches thick, mostly from top to bottom. Now, it measures out to be right about there, but I want to make sure I have enough up top to kind of wrap around the upper area to make sure the water all gets up in there, you know, not just the center. And also I cut it 2 inches thick because I didn't think like cutting it like shoelace thin would do anyone any favors. So what I'm going to do is, I've seen the people do this in videos before. I'm going to tie a knot like right here. Oh, looks like everything got stuck right about there, right? Right about there. So that's going to make sure that this doesn't fall completely into the fish tank, and it also kind of will stop dirt from falling down in between that little hole. Though this should clog it up pretty nice, just can't be too safe. Let me take the cap off because it might be a little difficult trying to feed this through. So I did drill the hole. There we go. Oh, got it through. You gonna make it? Do I need a bigger hole? There. Bam, there goes the cap. Now, this will get fed through the big hole right there. Pull the cap in. And whammy! No, I'm kidding. I watched Anchorman the other day, so this should go like so. Bam. It's the biggest Molotov cocktail in the world. But this should definitely work, because then once I start filling up the top with soil, I'm going to wind this around a little bit to create like a coil effect to make sure that all the plants in there are going to be properly fed. Now, I was planning on going to like Lowe's or Home Depot to look for like some plants, but it turns out my brother Christian started some seedlings in his apartment. So he said he had like lettuce, tomatoes, and a few other vegetables. So I'm going to go see what we can do. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go pick up those plants. Now, I understand this may look a little different, but it's for a good reason. because I plan on putting this on the front porch. This side's still clear, but I plan on putting this on the front porch, and I don't want where the sun comes in at to really beat the fish up. So I did this to make sure that it kind of like helps out a lot with the sun and gives it some more shade, because it is going to have the lid with the plants growing on it. So I just want to make sure I gave the fish a little bit of sun protection so the water doesn't get like boiling hot during our summer coming up. So all right, everybody, so basically I went ahead and I completed it. It has the rope going in. It's been soaking for about a few hours already. I want to see, and you could tell, well, you probably can't tell, but water is actually starting to come through from the cloth. So hopefully it doesn't get too much water coming up, but we'll see. So I have this in here and the water. I spray painted this backside black to kind of like not like direct sunlight come in to it, but now that I really think about it, I should have spray painted it white so it will deflect light and not attract more heat. But at least the fish won't be getting fried in the sun, right? So let me go ahead and turn this around. That. So what we have here is my brother Christian. He had a few of these seedlings that he planted, and he had no place to put them. So he gave them to me. So we have grapes, tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce. In here, I just have your basic potting soil. Nothing special. Is the stuff you get from like Dollar General or like, you know, Walmart. So there's nothing like crazy special. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start filling this thing up. We're gonna plant these and see what happens. I know I shouldn't put in so many plants, but this is an experiment, and I want to see which ones work best out here in the El Paso temperature, you know, in this type of environment. So we'll see what happens. Whatever lives, lives, and whatever dies, it dies. So let's see what happens. I'll move this out the way real quick. Handful and dump it in. Shake it. Make sure it gets all up in the little side spaces. Just nice and tight. Nice and tight. Yes. Tight like tiger. Oh, now my back to you. So we're gonna dump all that in. Dump all this and keep on dumping. Now, I got a good amount of soil, probably up to this line right here. I'm gonna actually start coiling this thing around in a little circle, almost like a question mark looking shape, and lay it down, squish it down nice and flat, just to see if when I plant these plants, I can plant them kind of on top of it, and when the moisture wicks up, it should get all of them nice and wet. So we'll see. To be honest, I don't even know what some of these are. Let's see here. Here. In worst case scenario, I'll plant flowers here because flowers always do well and things like this. But if I can grow food like this, that'd be great. And then I'll take whatever soil is left over and fill in any space that I have. That should be all of it. Oh, you know what? I forgot the main character, the fish. Let me go get him. So this is Goliath. He is a king betta fish. He's actually really big, real beautiful. He's chilling with his little pleco mate right there, an albino pleco. Never really named him, but that pleco's a true survivor, man. And yeah, they're gonna be the ones for this experiment. Let me turn this around. There we go. Yeah, there goes a little Pleco mouth. And there goes my King Beta and the Pleco. These two right here will be the ones living in the new tank and supplying the plants with fertilizer, so to speak. Alright, so I'm going to take this off. It's not as heavy as I thought it would be. It's right here. So I can lean it into this corner. I was smushing this plant. Got some dirt up in here. There we go. Alright, now let's go ahead and let's catch these bad boys. Here's one. Okay. And the beta. Come here, buddy. Come on, buddy. There you go, gotcha. He's a little harder to fight. He's a real fighter. Gotcha. Good luck, buddy. Do me proud. There you go. So, good luck, guys. This is gonna be a new kind of scary journey for you, but I know you guys will pull through and make it out on top. All right. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching Southwest Off Grid. I'm Matt Rivera. Peace.